When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do is take a look at Boo. Then I'm not so boo. Hey, Evil Dan and Camillo. Excuse me. doing Boo voice all morning will kind of take away your ability to do any voice later on. And Christian, Stephen, Suhaib, Son, Rada Prince, Loyal Guardian, Heatman, and Basil. Hi, Uchihag Zayden. Yeah, very early squad. I think, too, it looks like we're a little slow on the notifications. Big surprise. Pomfooing them boobies is awesome. And Liam, I can see the future. Hey, Popo. And I'll mention this again. As always, in all our streams, you're welcome to talk about whatever you want. It's just, I've had... Hey, Rada Prince. Good to see you, pal. I've had a disturbing number of people, I mean, understandably, but it bothers me how many of you seem to be really struggling a little bit right now. So I want to, as we get everybody in here, I want to talk a little bit about, just for whatever it's worth, some of the things that I figured out just from having been able to exist as long as I have. But I can identify and I can relate to the issues you guys are having, because I absolutely have been there. And as, again, we'll let the notifications get out a little so we don't go over things several times. But I want to talk to you guys more about it. Other than Spaz Kid being a pedophile. Well, the only thing is there, he just barely got old enough to where he could officially be one, and it wouldn't just... he's had to have started the career soon, because prior to this, it was just kid with kid. Is there any other anime you like besides Naruto? Yeah, I love Dragon Ball. Really enjoyed One Punch Man, and can't wait to watch One Piece and Hunter x Hunter, as well as some others. Well, I have autism, so can you relate to that? Well, it depends on what you mean by relate, Liam. Can I relate personally because of having experienced autism? Of course not. I don't have it. But because I haven't experienced something doesn't mean I haven't been around a vast number of people with varying degrees of disability, so I think I have a little bit of an understanding, as much as you can get from being on the outside of something looking in. Going through stage 4 terminal ass cancer. Don't mention DBZ. Hey there, Dr. Droopy. Son, my issue is being mentally desensitized after seeing that adorable face of yours. Well, that's a, one of the hazards of being in these streams. Perfectly understandable. Hey, Welfare Batman. Basil, no idea. All depends on when I get to do a second reaction video during the day, and if a Dragon Ball Z clip is on my upcoming list of vids to watch. Struggling with schoolwork instinct, that can get to be frustrating. But I wish I mean, we're in a good situation here where I live. I wish that all schools, I should say, could have the kind of programs in place that ours does. I think just because we're a small community, small size, they reach out to kids really well as far as when they are struggling with homework, as much as they can if they're struggling individually. And unfortunately, due to just mostly logistical reasons, I know a lot of schools aren't able to do that, and that sucks. Don't you sometimes wish you had Tourette's? Like the one South Park episode. First time I agreed with Cartman. I don't think I can honestly say it. I think the way it was put out there was funny, but I can't say I honestly... I don't officially have Tourette's, but I say inappropriate things so much, I think I get a little bit of a feel for what having the disease would be like. Son says, my family is very religious and I'm bisexual. I just heard my grandma talk about how being gay is bad. They don't know, and just hearing how my family talks about it, that's a difficult situation, son. Unfortunately, a lot of people, my generation and certainly older, particularly the generation or two above me that are still walking around, just, goddamn. I mean, when I was a kid, you talk about closed-minded. Now, I'll be the first to say I think that young people now have it tougher growing up, just growing up and being able to be well adjusted than any time in recent history. And by recent history, I mean within the last century. However, there were some things back when I was young that were more extreme. I mean, domestic violence was almost accepted. And what I'm leading towards is having absolutely no understanding of a child who is gay or it doesn't even have to be gay when I was young. If you were a boy and you liked anything even a little bit feminine, you just had an interest in something that was seen as feminine, then you were, go fuck yourself, Train. Nobody ever liked you. Then you were ostracized and put down and made fun of. And unfortunately, what you deal there with your grandmother is a result of that. And it's too bad that a lot of older people, don't bother to learn as time goes on. A lot of people resist learning as they get older, intentionally resist it. But you have to do you. You have to be you. And as difficult as it is and uncomfortable as it is, your family's going to have to come to an understanding that you need to be you. Love says I'm bi, of course. Yeah, that that was on the nose from your name. I figured that one, Love. Fuck you. Oh, the train just. Liam says, "Hey, I sexually identify as a train, and you just offended me." Well, I gotta say then, Liam, I've always said, because it's truth. I don't generally have any. I can't even think of a group that I have a negative opinion on, as far as just based on the race, religion, color, anything like that. I just don't. I always allow people to give me a reason to dislike them. But if you identify as a train, I would have to break that rule. Rowan says, Curtis, sorry. Oh, don't be sorry. I said this many times, but my depression is incurable, I guess. When you live in a country that's been in war for 8 years and you can't escape to another country to live peacefully, what can you do? That's rough stuff, Rowan. I know we've touched on that before while in the streams and stuff. And that's, I'll say this, that's why a lot of times here in America, that's one of the most poignant ways that we don't generally always appreciate exactly what we've got here. That we don't live with bombs dropping on us every day like a lot of the world does. The only thing I can tell you, Rowan, is as difficult as it is, and I'm absolutely not going to sugarcoat it. It would be difficult. Don't commit yourself to saying that you can never get out, because you don't know that for sure. It's a difficult process getting into America, especially now with the fights we have going on. This is one of the reasons. And I know some people get upset and say, "Oh, well, you're against immigrants," and it's not true at all. One of the reasons I want our southern border secured is because I think when you have that influx of people coming in illegally stopped, it's going to clear the way for more people to come in here legally. And I know it's a pain in the ass, and I know there's a million hoops to jump through, but there's always the chance that you can get out and go somewhere else. And not just America. I mean, some other countries have immigration policies that are friendly as well. But I wish I had something. I wish I had something more upbeat to tell you. I can't even imagine living the life that you're living. I just can't even imagine it. But again, and it's not a rah-rah thing. It's a matter of fact. You don't want to give up. You don't want to ever. You never say never. You don't want to say never. Whatever you can do, whatever pieces you can put in place to try and better your situation, fight for it. Just keep fighting for it. Even if it never comes to pass, know that you gave it your best effort. I mean, I have many relatives in the U.S. and France, but no country accepts Syrians anymore. It seems like we're insects to the world. And that's unfortunate. And you're right. And it's because of there's so many people wanting out of Syria. Well, no, I won't say that. There's so many people in Syria that are extremists that want to do harm to other areas. And so then it completely defeats people like you who just genuinely want to get out and make a better life for themselves. But I don't think, I honestly think as the southern border of our country, as that illegal immigration goes down, and it's downward trended a lot over the last couple of years, I think you're going to see more and more people from regions such as Syria being allowed into the country here. And especially if you have connections here in the U.S. and in France, and France is still part of the European Union, just keep poking and prodding it absolutely every way you can. Having family is a help. I mean, when you have people inside, it does help to some degree from what I understand about immigration and immigration laws and practices. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. Just keep grinding away and working with the people that you have that are out. I wish I could cure depression, Liam. I wish I had a cure-all. I wish I could do the magic fingers and send it right through my crappy little webcam to all you guys. Dark Slaver said the boo video scared my puppy. Yeah, I think the boo video scared a lot of people, and completely understandably so. What common people of Syria are suffering? Basil, I'm not understanding the question. Why common people of Syria are suffering due to shit problem between superpowers? Well, Basil, I'm sure you know as well as I do that that the entirety of that situation is such a convoluted mess. And particularly now with the U.S. and Russia posturing at each other and both of them having a presence in Syria. It just, oh my God. I feel for the people in there, like Rowan, who just want to be able to live their lives without worrying about walking into the street and having a bomb drop on their head. I wish there was an easy solution to clearing it all up. Let's see. So what does having a breakdown in the middle of a wrestling match work into this? I'm not sure what you mean, Steven. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're asking there. But yeah, Dr. Droopy, that's Sarah's Victoria. That's my true love right there. I don't know if you watch Hellsing Ultimate or have watched any of the or read the Hellsing mangas, but Sarah's Victoria, she's a vampire, and I wanted to rip my throat out. Quote Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Yeah, the peace of the major nations is built on the sacrifices of smaller nations. Unfortunately, that's true way too much of the time, Dark Slifer. And you would have hoped by this point in our combined world history that wouldn't be the case as often as it is right now. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate too, though. I mean, in fairness, and again, I'm not sticking up for anybody individually. I'm just, you got to call it all the way it is. It is the bad people too that bring that upon the small nations too, because you have terrorist groups that set up in places like Syria. And of course, so then you have the big nations who don't want to be terrorized by these people going in there to try and ferret them out. And of course, then you have all kinds of innocent people in the way of that, in the way of that conflict. And any group, any organization, whether it's governmental or whatever it is that binds these people together, whether it's a common goal such as ISIS. Any group that hides behind civilians is absolute scum as far as I'm concerned. Maz says Finland has a similar issue. There are actual refugees seeking asylum, but most of them are economical migrants. First groups get shit because of the second. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so difficult. I mean, because you have from a lot of the countries. Syria is a perfect example. You have so many good, well-intentioned people that just want a better life, and it's almost impossible for the nations to where they want to go to determine who is legitimate in that desire and who is somebody that's going to want to do harm once they get in there. It's a maddening, just insanely maddening, seemingly never-ending cycle. M says, I wish my random bouts of depression were my only problem in life. Bouts of depression, and again, I get it. When you guys are young, with the situation that you guys are growing up in, and you guys know me, I'm not an old man who shits on technology. I love technology. I absolutely enjoy it. I look for every new technological advance is interesting and exciting to me. However, that said, that's why I say that young people now have it more difficult just to get through day by day, is because of the advances in technology. There are so many more pressures that you never get away from anymore because we're all so connected, and so much of the world, and I mean people right within our own nations and everything, are absolute shit and just don't care about anybody else and look for ways to demean and hurt and make feel bad other people. That's why I think you guys have it tougher than any prior generation. But that's why, too, you guys got to be even more focused than any of us were in, like I've always said, in getting to that next bright spot. Now, no matter how insignificant it may seem, no matter how little it may seem, even if you like coming here and watching the videos, just get to that next one, and then get to the next one after that, and the next one after that, and you keep crawling forward and getting to that next thing that gives you a little relief or takes your mind off of things for a little while. And hopefully you get to a point where you find out that there's more and more of these little light moments upcoming and the darkness starts to recede a little bit. That's at least been my method for overcoming. Old School Gamer says, if you haven't, you should check out Goku Sensei at some point. Not saying right now just because it's fucking hysterical. Yeah, let's see. I don't do videos on this one, but hold on. Let me. Goku Sensei. Was somebody might have been talking about that. Hold on just a second, guys. I'll be right back to the conversation. Somebody might have been talking about that in a comment. That looks familiar. DBZ and Naruto parody. Oh, SSJ9K. Oh, no. Wasn't someone who's talking about? Yes. I got this in my recommended videos just the other day. But outside of doing it on a live stream, you guys know I always wait a few days for let a video be out for usually at least a week before I react to it. But that's where I saw it. Yes, I will check that out. I will check that out. I'd like to check that out in a stream with all you guys. I knew I had just seen that name. That's where it was. I got it recommended to me because, you know, I watch SSJ9K's vids, so I got it recommended. Hi says, pretty much the only advice I can give people actually going through depression is no matter how bad it gets, get out of bed. Good advice. Do something. Not a cure, but better than letting bad chems perpetuate. I agree with that 100%. And it's really, really hard to get out of bed sometimes. But Hi's right. You just, that's one of those times where you just got to reach down and you got to do it. Because the one cool thing about life is no matter how bad things get, there is always the opportunity for that little nugget that you never saw to happen. No matter what it is that makes you laugh, makes you smile, makes you happy, there's just as much chance in life, and I stand by this, as having an unexpectedly fun moment as there is having an unexpectedly concerning moment. Brandon, I can't wait to turn 19 on Monday. I'm going to be getting boxing equipment. Really? Good for you. That's a good release, too, when you're... Well, of course, the backbone of my workouts for my whole adult life, because I love boxing, always did. I boxed for years when I was younger, has always been working the bag and stuff. And that's a good idea, too, for when you're just feeling frustrated and stuff, because it'll exhaust you to the point where you're just like, all right, I don't care. I'm cool now. Whatever comes at me, comes at me. Good for you, Brandon. Yeah, make sure you get somebody just... When you're first learning to work a bag and stuff, especially a heavy bag, make sure you get somebody who really knows knows the ropes, but we'll show you the proper way to do it because it's easy to injure yourself when you're first starting out. Radiprince says, as a 30-year-old, I've also witnessed advancement of technology, and it's good. What's bad is when it becomes complete dependency, which causes depression. I agree with that. Well put, Radiprince. I agree with that too. And I think it's so easy and understandable for it to become a complete dependency. And Radiprince is right. When you get that complete dependency or even near complete dependency on technology, there is no other alternative but for it to warp your sense of reality. There just isn't, because whatever we're experiencing online, a large part of it is not reality, even a lot of it that's purported to be. So I agree with Radiprince. Not only is that important to have that balance, again, you guys know me, I'm not one of these people that says, hey, you kids get off that Twitter and don't be playing video games. There's nothing wrong with any of that. You just got to give it a little bit of balance. It doesn't even have to be 50-50. Just make sure that every once in a while you just get away from your electronics and just go do something. And if it's with friends, great. If it's with family, great. If it's by yourself, great. My favorite thing, because I used to like doing this, sit on a bridge and eat a banana. And again, I know it's a stupid thing, but I used to like sitting on this bridge that was over a creek, and I like bananas. There's something phallic about that, possibly, but I still like bananas. But whatever. I didn't even have to be with anybody. It just made me feel good. I just liked watching this little creek run and listen to the sound of the water. And there were, in the pooled areas of it, there were frogs jumping in and out. Just make sure you balance it with something like that. Make sure you got a banana and a bridge somewhere in your life. Maz says, I'm glad that I went through I'm glad that I went through some much shit in my childhood, because the shit I go through now is easy. Been through worse is an everyday phrase. I believe there's a lot of truth to that, Mas. I have a good friend of mine who is an MMA fighter. Tough kid. Really tough kid. Got a good record. I think Tommy is, I want to say in the neighborhood of 10-5 with his record, whatever, but never gets tapped out because he's just too tough. He just won't tap out. You can kill him rather than he'd let himself die before he'd tap. Whether that's a good thing or not is up to perspective. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is he was diagnosed with a form of cancer, and it's gone right out of my head, and it's very commonplace. It's the blood cancer, leukemia. He was diagnosed with leukemia when he was a little kid, to the point where him and his whole family went to Disney World through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They didn't think he was going to make it. Well, he ended up beating leukemia, and I still say just what Maz is saying. That's why the kid is so tough in the octagon. He thought he was done. Anything he's gotten since then, and I don't want to speak for him, but again, he's a friend. He's a personal friend, and just knowing him, I think that's a lot of why he's able to achieve what he's able to achieve, and why he is so insanely tough in a fight. And inside the octagon was because he's looked death in the face as a child. What does that guy across the octagon have to scare him at that point? So I think there is something to be said for that. I agree, Maz. Yeah, a good way to put it, Radiprince, and that's true. That's true. I mean, the way he's saying that sounds like an illustrative method of putting it, but it's, I believe, actually factual. Snap or tap. Yeah, basically, Zombie Wolf. Radiprince says the brain is a computer that needs occasional reset. Absolutely, and that's what I mean by a banana and a bridge. You can't, it sounds, and I know, especially if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling down, that sounds like too simplistic of a notion. But you got to trust me, it's not. Just go out and find something. Just break, especially with, and again, I'm on electronics constantly. A lot of it's, I have a reason for it. You guys know how much time I spend on the channel and stuff. But even I will just take and break away. That's why it takes so long a lot of times for Spaz Kid and I to make videos, because we have such little time together. And tomorrow's a good example because he's off school tomorrow. Well, we can make a video, but when we get a little time together, it's like our breakaway sanity time. We're going to watch Ready Player One. So do that. Make sure you do that. Have those things in your life. Hold on, let's see. Hi, Tristan. Haven't been on stream for a while. That's all right, pal. Missed you. While we're on topic, back to what I was saying. Technology is the sharpest double-edged sword. Completely agree. Completely agree, my friend. It is. And again, the only reason I feel comfortable in talking to you, because most of you are obviously substantially younger than me, comfortable talking to you guys about it, because you guys know I'm not anti-technology in any of it, in any aspect. I love technology. But like anything else you love, you got to look at the downsides too. And it clearly can have a downside effect. Fortunately, I've never had to stay too hard on Spaz Kid about it, because as much of a gamer as he is, as much as he's into technology just as I am, I mean, it's what he's going to college for and everything, he's always, and I've monitored this, it's always been a case of, okay, if he's playing his video games, I'll come up and say, hey, Brax, you want to go outside and throw a ball around? And never once does he say no. So as long as I know he's got that willingness to detach, it's like, okay, I feel comfortable with it, because he would always say yes. And he's not even that big into sports, but he just likes going out and playing catch because it's time for us to be together. But if I come in and say, hey, Brax, let's go throw a football, or let's throw the baseball around, he'll be like, okay. And he'll tell the guys, I'll be back later. And that's important, guys. I mean, he's lucky that he had it. Be willing to do that. Don't let anything in your life, any addiction, don't let anything take you over. Because one thing I can guarantee you, getting out of your alcohol will not get you out of your depression. Might distract you for a little while. There's better distractions than alcohol. Same with drugs. And I'm not against anybody having a few. Again, pot smoking is not my thing. I know a lot of people use it to chill, and I don't have an issue with that, as long as you're not using it as an escape, because it's not an effective escape. You really want to find your escapes with a straight mind. Hey, Daddy, I can't stay. Can you please sing for us? Dracake says. I was singing that goddamn Boo song again, Joe, when the stream started. Well, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that, my friend. Let's see. I want to keep up. Is it not posting your post again? By love, it was doing that to me sometimes yesterday too. When we were on that other guy's stream and stuff. That's YouTube, who knows. Sergio says, I've been watching your channel for a whole year, and every 10 a.m. in my city, I had some shit going on in your vids. Never failed to make me smile and laugh and forget for that instance the struggle I had. Well, I'm very glad to hear that, Sergio. I'm glad. I mean, seriously, there's nothing that makes me happier about having the channel than things like that. And it's just like Sergio says, and it doesn't have to be our channel. It doesn't have to be videos. Just find that thing, just exactly what Sergio's talking about. It can be the simplest thing that you enjoy, and you got to focus on that. And just get to that next time that you're going to get to do whatever it is you enjoy. And again, and then the time after that, and the time after that. And eventually things do start to clear. And eventually you find yourself being able to just enjoy these things as they come and not have them saving your life every time they come up. But I appreciate that, Sergio. If you look forward to our videos, there's nothing more complimentary to me. Oh, you got to go, Fanatic? Got to catch a bus? Okay, pal. Thanks for hanging in while you could. And it's funny, for those who don't know, Freaky Fanatic on a live stream, what was it? Months ago, well, he's got to go. Months ago, we were doing some hypnosis. It was awesome. Fanatic became a willing hypnosis subject, so I hypnotized him via Skype on a live stream. I never did pull that out and make an individual video of it. I should have. And we told under hypnosis, we told him that he was a Super Saiyan and everything, and it was a good time. It was a really good subject, and that's what I'm leaning towards too. I know I've been saying I'm going to make a point to make it'll be a preset time that I'll post for you guys of a live stream where we'll do some hypnosis relaxation. We're not looking to make anybody cluck like a chicken. Hypnosis is really, really good. Well, hypnosis is relaxation, but it's really good at getting you able to escape for a little while. So I'm going to start doing some of those. Hold on. Let me catch up here. Saw Daryl's. Reddit says, anything that strips your independence will, because depression has caused depression as well. Absolutely. And what Reddit and I have been talking about was becoming laser focused, all encompassed by technology. And that's basically what it's, a good example is those cigarette commercials they put on TV. They're poignant because they're right. An addiction And in that case, it's cigarette smoking. But any addiction takes control of your life and takes away your independence. And that will absolutely cause depression. And again, whether it's an addiction to technology, it's an addiction to tobacco, an addiction to drugs or alcohol, it takes away your independence absolutely and will certainly lead to depression. Those are, again, I know how ominous depression can be, but you got to fight it with things outside of chemicals. You really need to. Jack Queen says, I'm out right now and drinking, LOL, but saw the title and thought I may be able to help. I'm an educational psychologist in training. Very good, Jack Queen. I didn't know that. Absolutely. Please chime in with absolutely everything you want. And I think Jack Queen, I'm glad he said that. He makes a good point. That's the difference. Being out and drinking, there's nothing wrong with that. That's, again, it's not, I don't drink, but it's just because I don't care for alcohol and because I know my own personal limitations. And again, if you loosen me up anymore, I'm just going to end up in jail, because that's always a borderline thing for me anyway, because I'm too loose as it is. But, and I don't want to make it sound like that alcohol is evil. Alcohol isn't evil. Alcohol helps people have a good time a lot, and it tastes good to a lot of people. Alcohol can only be evil when you're using alcohol as a defense against something else. When you're using it to have strictly a good time and not much more, I think you're fine. Radiprince says, that can't be stressed enough. Balance is always important. Yeah, like we gotta live by the rules of Mr. Miyagi. A balance is very important. That was a horrible Asian accent. But it is. Whenever you're consumed by any one thing, it's not going to work out well. No notification, Wolfie. No notification says, please blow me. Hold on here. Make sure I'm catching everybody's okay. Tom says, here there is someone who beat cancer too. That's me. Good for you. Hodgkin lymphoma survivor. It really makes you stronger and grateful to life, I'm sure. It's simple, but sometimes we don't get how precious it is. Wow, very good. Congratulations, Tom. I like reading stuff like that. It's inspiring. And that's what I say about my friend Tommy. I think just basically what Tom said. When you've stared that down, it changes your whole perspective on life. And I know for Tommy, it made him basically fearless. Again, okay, so he's in an octagon with an opponent over there that wants to punch him in the face. It's nothing compared to being a little kid who's been told that they only have months or a couple of years to live and facing that down. So I think a lot of our own individual lives are graded on a curve, or we react to things based on a curve of what we've seen prior. Hold on. And I'm so lit. For those who don't know, Wolfie, the last couple of streams we had, he requested this just horrible song. Again, the best way I can describe it is genuinely and literally worse than Rebecca Black's Friday. That's next level. Sammy says, how to cure a bad day? Sarah's boobs. Just kidding. Don't take me seriously, and nor dumbasses like me. To tackle depression, seek help from family or therapy. To anyone facing depression, never give up. I agree with you completely, Sammy. And actually, but I don't think you're completely off base with that. I mean, granted, I don't think that Sarah's boobs are what you need to focus on to get yourself out of the depths of depression. But, and I don't say this to be facetious, if you like Sarah's boobs and you're feeling down, so look up do a Google image search of Sarah's. It's those type of things that make it, that's something you like. It's something that makes you happy. It makes me happy. And I'm being genuine. I was going to say I'm not being perverted. I can't help but be perverted. That is my essence. But I'm not saying this in a perverted manner. But sure it does. Because I love how she looks. I think she's wildly hot. I think she's a cool character. So watching some Sarah's videos or going to Google image search, as much as Sammy's just kidding, but seriously, that's a thing. It's just another way outside of chemicals to focus on something else for a little while. Even when you're bummed out and it's like, that's not going to do anything, you'll be surprised. Whatever it may be, Again, for me, Sarah's boobs, yeah, I look at Sarah's boobs, whether I want to or not, it's going to make me feel a little better. Whatever it is, whatever those little things are, don't be afraid to utilize them. Ma says, fun fact, I have a piece of paper that states that I've been legally dead for 27 seconds. Kind of puts life's problems into perspective. Holy shit, Maz, really? My mother, and of course now, when she was a child, we're going way, way back. My mom is 81 right now. When she was little, she was pronounced dead. And again, but you have to remember, you're talking, I'm trying to remember how old she was. You're talking mid-70s years ago. Medical science it wasn't much science. And believe it or not, they had pronounced her dead. My grandfather, her father, they gave word to him. He ran through security. It sounds like something out of a movie, but it really happened. Ran through security, and he was freaking out, and he started shaking her and saying, Irene, no. And she came back. It was like, I guess it was like the defibrillator effect. I don't know if they even had defibrillators back then. And she said, it does. She said the same thing. It changes your perspective on things. She said, even though she can barely remember it, she knows that it happened. And it did change her perspective on things for a very long period of time. Let's see. Chris, I was down last night and I heard a good message to just say fuck it, not kidding, not to care so much about what people think and just be you. Oh, I'm a huge believer in that, Zombie Wolf. Huge believer in that. And I know it's easy because of everybody's nature, everybody's instincts are different. For me, it's easier than some, and I completely understand that. But yes, absolutely. Don't give it. Listen, who gives a shit what people think? Unless you have a relationship with someone. You know, if it's someone you're close to and they're going to have something negative to say, of course, it's not only going to hurt, but if they're really that close to you, it's probably something you should listen to. There's probably some validity somewhere in what they're saying. But outside of that, especially with the internet, who gives a fuck what somebody says about you? Don't even sweat it. Who cares? I mean, it's and again, it goes. The channel's a good example. A lot of people have a misunderstanding because you guys know I love to get in a flame war with somebody if they come in saying something stupid. And a lot of people will say, well, no, don't feed the trolls or don't let it drive you nuts. First of all, it doesn't drive me nuts. I actually like doing that. But that's my nature. Because to me, and again, I think a lot of it's the wrestling background, disrespectful behavior is putrid and shouldn't go unchallenged. And not everybody's like that. But what everybody can do is, and this is an overused phrase, but it's so true in everything, consider the source. Always consider the source, whether you're getting advice, whether you're getting yelled at, even if you're getting props, consider the source. If it's somebody online giving you shit, why do you care? Who cares what they think? They mean nothing to you. Their opinion means nothing to you. Fuck them. Who cares? And that's how you really need to look at things. Always consider the source. It's just like, even if it's a criticism. Well, people say, well, I'm just trying to give you constructive criticism. Well, if you're giving that constructive criticism, first thing to do is consider your relationship with the person you're talking to. Do you have one? Did you just come out of left field to give? Why would they take seriously your criticism, constructive or not? Consider the source. Take advice from the people who are important to you. If the people who are important to you and that you have a relationship with are saying, something you're doing is probably not good, is wrong, there's probably some validity to it. If it's some douchebag on the internet, who cares what they think? Fuck them. Das Brot says, I've had pneumonia a year ago on both lungs. Oh, that's rough. I had pneumonia once in my life. That was rough. And I didn't have it in both. And did laugh my ass about it. It's a deadly disease, but if you don't laugh, you lose. I think there's some validity to that as well. Like what Das is saying. If you don't laugh, you lose. In all cases, it's not always that simple, but it's a part of it. It's a mechanism of it. Social Security is completely a nightmare, Alex. We deal with it all the time with having disabled people in the house. I can tell you guys a story about the if you laugh, you lose. I've told it before. I don't know how many of you heard me when I said it, and it's just an instinctual thing. But this is my take on things, I guess. Years ago, I worked for a local municipality, and I was a heavy equipment operator at the time. And so we had just had a flood. The city I worked in, there's a river runs right through the middle of the city. It's the Mohawk River, it's a big river. Well, it had flooded when one of the hurricanes had come up the coast. So anyway, we're doing some cleanup afterwards, and now this park that sits on the edge of the river is on the side of a hill. So we're doing some cleanup, and our general foreman says, hey, go pick up this stuff. You know, there's a bunch of debris and crap with the bucket loader and bring it down below. I said, I don't think I'll grab. The ground is still so wet. Those tires on the bucket loaders are not meant for slick conditions. They're meant to grab through gravel, rock, dirt, things like that. No, you'll be okay. Sure enough, so I go up there, I start doing it. The machine starts sliding right back down the hill, right towards the river. Now, the river, of course, is right up to the banks anyway. It's raging. I mean, just blowing away as it's going by. I have no control. It's just sliding down now. A bunch of my buddies are standing there watching. There's nothing anybody can do. Seeing me slide down, and as it's sliding, the bucket loader is turning, and I had no control. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to go over the edge, I'm going to have to try and jump out of here. It's a long jump. I'm probably going to break my legs, my arms, something, but I'm going to try and jump to land because I'm going to die for sure if I hit the water. So as I'm sliding down and hoping it'll stop, my one friend, Warren, we always called him Deacon, is standing right there, and I see him, and why I said this to this day, I still don't know. I look out, and I yell right out the door. I go, hey, Deke, look at me. I'm dying. Because I thought that was funny. Now, why that came to me to say, I don't know. The end of the story is, I was at the door about to jump, and it finally slowed. I probably had, I'm not going to say inches, I probably had 3 feet, and then I was going to have to make the call and jump out of it. But the first thing he said when I got out of there is, he goes, that's not even a human response. Why would you say that? Why would you laugh about the fact that you're about to die? And I don't know why. It's just because everybody looks at things differently. And I think my whole life has been so geared around everything being a joke or nothing's off limits. Even in that moment, it was like, if I'm going out, I'm at least going to go out laughing. I don't know. But that's why everybody's so different in the way they look at things. But again, what's been said here is so true. You have to have balance in life. Believe Mr. Miyagi. Unoriginal Pun says, I'm a bit behind on the stream. That's okay. Wanted to chime in on your statements that you need to deal with depression outside of chemicals. Antidepressants can be very good and sometimes necessary. Oh yeah. Well, let me be more specific, Unoriginal Pun. I guess I wasn't specific enough about that. I'm not talking about chemicals prescribed by a doctor. I'm not one of these, stay off the medicine things. No. What I meant was don't self-medicate. And you're right. I should have been more clear about that. And by self-medicate, I mean every time you have an issue, don't just get so blindingly drunk that you don't care anymore. But Unoriginal Pun's right, and I'm 100% behind that. If a doctor's saying that, you need this medication, and you take that medication and it makes you feel better, I'm all for that. Do I think doctors go to medication too soon sometimes? Probably. But I'm not against that. So thank you for pointing that out. What I mean by don't go to chemicals is don't bury yourself in alcohol or drugs as a way of getting through every day. That's what I meant to say. I should have been more specific about that. Hold on, Brandon. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything in the interim here. Nope, I think we're good. Okay. But that was a good point. Yes, I should have been more clear about what I was trying to say there. Brandon says, I'm not trying to be rude, but depression is such an overused term. I've gone through a lot too, but like you said in Naruto, whose pain is greater? That's not rude, Brandon. I think we definitely all go through depression to a certain degree. I think just by nature, just by makeup, some of us are able to get through it better than others. I've been very fortunate in my life. I'm pretty good at it. I've had times where it's beaten me down pretty good, but I'm usually fairly good at it. I think for other people, it is genuinely harder. And some people are in certainly more depressive situations. Rowan was speaking earlier. I can't identify, from a personal standpoint, I can't personally identify with the thought of every time I walk out of my house, a bomb might drop on me. I don't know it's hard to give somebody advice other than, you know, just what we were saying about, you got to stay focused. You got to do what you can to try and extricate yourself from the situation. And as hard as it is, not get defeated by it. So I get, there's always going to be different levels, but I don't think it's I don't like it to be a case of, as you're saying, as whose pain is greater. I think everybody's pain is legit, but it's nice if those who have survived their pain can lend a helping hand to those who are trying to get through theirs. Let's see. Love wants you to show your wow. We actually have the Texan, and well, both of them, the Texan and the Mexican, are dogs. For those of you, I know there's always new people in here. It's Mexican because one's a Chihuahua, Texan because the other one's a rescue dog from Texas. They're actually in their crate right now, only because we have our staff in the house that takes care of my disabled daughter, and she has someone shadowing her, which means she's just following her around to learn. And we don't want the dogs, until they get used to somebody, they're a pain in the ass. I mean, they won't bite you, but they'll be yipping, barking, constantly following you around, want to know why you're in their house. So they had to be in their crate today. Otherwise, I would bring her in. Van Riley says, ever watched Black Mirror on Netflix? No, Black Mirror? No, I haven't heard. I don't know that one. The show is all about the dark side of technology and society. It can get really grim. Great show. Recommend. Sounds good, Van. I like that type of stuff. So it's documentary style, right? Sounds like. Let me write that down. Oh, I went looking yesterday too, guys. Unfortunately, A Silent Voice is not available on Netflix here. Somebody was saying in the UK it is. I'm still looking. I gotta find a version of A Silent Voice. I really want to see that. You guys got me turned on to that. This is called Black Mirror. I like stuff like that. God damn. I keep all these pens on my desk and not a one of them will write when I want them to. Black Mirror. Netflix. I'll check that out. I mean, as I get, whenever I find all this magical time I want to watch stuff. But I wanted to get A Silent Voice lined up yesterday because you guys were saying it was so good and it looks so good from that trailer, and it's not on our Netflix. And even Amazon was out of copies of it too. Ma says Black Mirror is fucking good. Sounds good. Like I say, I like that type of content. Rider Prince says, excuse me, guys. An unappreciated fact is that good diet helps too, chemically speaking, from a nutritional standpoint. Once again, agree. Also, the amount of times you consume. Completely agree with that too, Rada, because I'm a perfect example of what not to do there. Because when I did go to college, I told you guys I was studying journalism, but I had minors in sports medicine and nutrition. So it's really perverse that I, for so many years, have had a good, strong base of knowledge about what to eat, and I eat all the wrong shit. And I agree with Rada Prince 100% because I feel, I don't mean just physically, overall, I feel better if I'm eating better. There's no question in my mind about that. I feel more upbeat. I don't think it's much of a stretch to realize that if you're eating all those crap foods, it's got to be a drain on your body's chemical system from top to bottom. And we all know your brain is a function of these chemicals. So yes, I agree with that from a personal standpoint completely. I feel completely different, much better when I'm eating right than I do when I'm eating crap. It sometimes feels like a documentary, but it's a fictional anthology series. Either way, I still want to see it. Black Mirror. Okay, I thought maybe it was actually tackling what technology is actually doing to us, but either way, that's just the type of content I like. Big Green says, but Curtis, what do I do when a couple of guys who are up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood? I got one little fight and my mom got scared. The only thing I could recommend there is, move in with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. That's the only logical conclusion. And then do the Carlton dance, of course. Let's see. They separated Netflix by country. Yeah, I know, Jack Queen. I was enthused yesterday when somebody was telling me that A Silent Voice was available in the UK, but we don't have it here. It does sound interesting, doesn't it, Radar Prince? That, like I say, I like just based on the overall synopsis there. It sounds really good. we know you're a How to Basic. I haven't watched. I was saying the other day, I haven't watched a lot of How to Basic recently. I gotta watch him. I always loved that guy. I always thought he was hilarious. I was the man at the Carlton dance. Were you Radar Prince? I could never do it right. I can't dance for shit. Any type of dancing I can't do. I tried to do it, but it was that I did it so bad I had to pretend like I was just parodying the Carlton dance because it wasn't even close. I like trolling says, did you hear what happened in Florida? I don't know, my friend. You got to be more specific. Which, there's so many things going on all the time throughout the world. I'm not sure which specific incident you mean. Are you talking about the school shooting? Of course, absolutely. Maz says, chefs specialized in diets here. Oh, cool. There are plenty of studies that show that things like sugar can scar the part of the brain regulating endorphins. I believe that. I don't have any, and I never purport. The one sure way in life to get yourself in trouble is to pretend you know about something that you don't. So I don't purport to have firsthand knowledge of it. I only have personal knowledge, and what Maz is saying makes complete sense to me, because when I'm eating too much sugar, I don't feel balanced. I just don't. I don't feel as happy and upbeat as I usually am, and I find myself, it's rare for me to get in moods, and I find myself actually falling into moods and stuff, so I completely believe that nobody would have to convince me of that at all. I believe it. Jack Queen says, I've had depression and anxiety-ridden young people become paranoid and physically attack me. That's a danger they don't often tell you. I can relate to a degree as well, Jack Queen, because working with disabled people as we have, I've mentioned you guys our history in that I actually worked for local ARC, Association for Retarded Children, for years. So I've been around between my own kids and in work-related situations, disabled people for some time, and it's a similar type of thing. It may be more driven by their individual disabilities than just depression or anxiety. But yes, every once in a while they'll become paranoid, and you have to fight off physical attacks. We had to learn how to wrap them up and everything, and it's very scary because there's some really big people I'm sure that you deal with, Jack Queen, and that we dealt with in those situations as well. Let's see. YouTube's logging you out, Sammy? Oh, jeez. It was doing that to me, I think it was like a week ago was the last time it started that crap on me. Hey, Sahar, good to see you, pal. Darth Gamer says, I don't have hope of getting rid of cancer. I still think I'll pass out someday. It's kind of sad. Well, that's very sad, Darth. But why, why don't you have hope? Medically, are they telling you that? And this is personal stuff. If you don't share with all of us, I completely understand. But medically, have they told you there's no hope? Or is it just you're feeling that way? Electronic says, how do you handle anger and stress? Actually, the best method I've come up with trolling is, and this is what I was going to talk to you guys more about before the stream's over anyway, is a really cool side effect of learning to become a hypnotist was learning how your brain actually functions. And there are some really cool little tips within hypnosis that work like a champ for bringing you down out of both of those things, anger and stressful situations. And I'll share some of that stuff with you guys. It's similar to meditation. The difference being, a lot of times the way meditation is promoted to people is, for my beliefs, well, not beliefs, now science has backed it up, is incorrect. because people, and I think this is why a lot of people will shy away from meditation at times, because they'll tell you, well, you're going to achieve a higher consciousness. You're going to go to that. No, you're not. You're going to utilize what is a part of all of our brains. All of our brains have this ability to give us this relief. And it's all a matter of getting to your subconscious mind instead of your conscious mind, because your subconscious mind does not analyze, it doesn't critique, it just takes suggestions from yourself. It will take suggestions. So if you get to your subconscious mind and you give it the suggestion that the anger is subsiding, that the anxiety is subsiding, and that you're enjoying what you're doing at that moment, it will take it. And once I learned that's how it actually works, it doesn't work like the mystics would have you believe, it really started working well for me, because I understood it was a real thing and not some sort of plane of existence I was trying to achieve. But I'll talk to you guys more about that. Hold on. Let me just check Tristan, make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think we is good. Here's Tristan. Hear about the SWAT team that went in to help with the Florida school shooting? They were all let go because they didn't have the order to go in. Were they let go, or were they just... Last I had heard, Tristan, they were... they had gotten suspended, but they weren't let go entirely. They didn't actually let those guys go, did they? I mean, that's a double-edged sword. I get what they were saying is that they didn't know where they were, and they can't have that happen in a crisis situation. However, I think any rule has to allow for extenuating circumstances, most notably that the sheriff's deputies that have showed up so far were hiding in the fucking parking lot. So I understand that those SWAT members broke a rule, but anybody, particularly people that are going to be dealing in high-stress situations, if they don't allow for the fact that sometimes it may be for the betterment of all if a rule is broken, then I think the system is broken. So yes, I mean, I read the whole thing, and I try to look at things from both sides. So I get what they were saying. I understand that losing track of SWAT team members during that situation is not a good thing, and they're trained not to do that. However, there are times where freelancing becomes necessary, and I think that falls into that. Meditation is useful to clear crap out of your head. Absolutely. Unfortunately, most stuff on it is transcendental meditation, cult crap. Exactly, Hi. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Because basically, what I can show you guys as far as self-hypnosis is meditation. It's just the way it's presented. And just what Hi is saying here, I mean, it gets to be cultist, the way they're trying to tell you, again, you're going to achieve a higher consciousness. No, you're not. You're not achieving a higher consciousness. You're just accessing a viable part of your brain. That's all you're doing. You're not going anywhere. I mean, you'll even have, which Hi knows as well, these cultist types that'll tell you, if you achieve a certain level of consciousness, you'll levitate. They've said that for years and stuff. No, you won't. You'll think you did. It's just like I can hypnotize you, and I could make Hi believe under hypnosis that his name is Sally. It's the same thing. You can self-hypnotize and make yourself believe that you levitated, but you didn't. So, and I think that's what hurts people or stops people a lot of times from turning to meditation, is because of all the next level crap they hear. Whereas when you learn what you're really doing is that you're basically just giving your conscious mind a rest for a while, it becomes much, much easier. Get the fuck out. I didn't even know that, Tristan. Tristan says those SWAT members were let go. All release statements. I don't know. I just don't even know anymore. That whole situation in Florida was so fucked up to begin with. I don't get too sidetracked on what we're talking about, but for me, I don't care what anybody says. That initial deputy is a coward. Because, again, you took that job. Your job, the reason you took that job was to protect students. And was to protect students if something deadly happened. And people making excuses for him saying, well, how would you like to go in and face down a semi-automatic weapon, an AR-15. Well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. First of all, if you think I wouldn't have gone in, you're fucking stupid. I could, in that moment, I can guarantee you, I would rather get killed by a bullet than spend the rest of my life haunted by the sounds of children dying while I hid around a corner. And more important than that, it was his fucking job. If you didn't want to do the job, don't take the job. The guy was there for a paycheck, and he pussed out when it was time to earn it. Sorry for getting distracted, but now you got these SWAT team members being released because they freelanced to try and save some kids. Nah. Sometimes you gotta break rules. Radiprince says, plane of existence is factual, but don't be dogmatic in thinking and it'll give the same answer science got. It's literal, but in consciousness. Well, I guess what we're talking there, Radiprince, is more semantics, I guess. So basically, if I'm understanding what you're saying, you could say that you're achieving a higher or a different plane of existence or a higher plane of existence when you go into a self-hypnotic state, if that's how the semantics you want to use for it. The reality, as you are alluding to there, the reality is you're just accessing the subconscious portion of your brain. That's all you're doing. However, if you want to describe, it's just like within hypnosis, we always say people under hypnosis are sleeping. Well, they're not, but we don't have good semantics for exactly what is going on there. You're not actually sleeping because you have way more awareness than you do when you're asleep. So this is, again, a similar case. What Radiprince is saying, under that self-hypnosis, you could call it reaching a different level of consciousness by semantics if that's how you see the process. I think I'm understanding what you're saying anyway. Maya says, tips... Oh, excuse me, guys. I got a tickle in my nose out of the blue. Tips on getting sleep, because my sleep is all fucked up. That's, again, that's something that self-hypnosis is really, really good at. And when we get to that stream, I'll take you guys through just a quick session of it. And it's basically getting your conscious mind to begin focusing, laser focused on relaxation. We never do that on our own. Getting to the point where that focus on relaxation becomes so powerful that your conscious mind starts to back off. Your subconscious mind comes to take over, which is what happens when you sleep, which is what happens. The best example we tend to use in hypnosis is, because the perfect alliteration of it is, when you go on a long drive somewhere, and you take that long drive, and then you get to your destination, and you think, and you're like, holy shit, I don't even remember getting here. That was self-hypnosis. That was the subconscious took over. Because you were seeing something redundant, you started to, even though you were aware and alert, you started to relax. You were still watching the road. If a ball came out in front of the road in front of you, the conscious mind was going to gear right in and make you slam that brake. But you were basically accessing the subconscious mind, and that can really, really help you in getting sleep. So you studied hypnosis just like Scott Adams. I didn't know Scott Adams was into hypnosis. I know, I mean, I like Dilbert, and I've read some of his writings. I never came across one where we talk about hypnosis. Do you think Trump is a master persuader like Scott Adams does? For the most part, no. I think a lot of Trump's persuasive abilities, this is just my opinion. Now, this is strictly opinion because I don't know the man personally. So, in fairness, I just want to say this is just my opinion. From what I've seen of him, I don't think he is a master persuader. I think his nature helps him to persuade some people, but I don't think he consciously uses the powers of persuasion as much as he does have a lot of happy accidents. Just like I think the way he ended up dealing with Kim Jong-un was masterful. I don't think he did it on purpose. I guess that's the best way to put it. Okay, hold on, Red Prince. Let me just make sure again. I like make sure I didn't miss anybody. Correct. Touching higher forms of self. The problem arises in what level of understanding the so-called guru has and what they're actually explaining. We're 100% in agreement, Rad Prince. And I think that, unfortunately, I think that has hurt a lot of people's interest and a lot of people's ability to utilize, which is really a phenomenal part of your brain. It opens up a lot of great avenues for you just for self-help and self-health. But like Rad Prince says, you get these so-called gurus. They know how to get you there, and I'll make a good. I think you'll approve, Rad Prince. I'll make a good example for you. They know how to get you to that state, but they don't really know how to explain to you how you got there, other than saying something like, you're going to achieve another level of consciousness is very vague. Whereas they don't understand the science behind it. And what I was going to say, there's so many, and this annoys the shit out of me. There are so many hypnotists out there right now who can induct somebody and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They can induct you, they can put on a great show, they can have you run around clucking like a chicken, whatever they want to have you doing. But throughout that entire induction, they don't even know why you're in a hypnotic state, because they know the mechanics of doing an induction and not the scientific or the physiological process that we're going through. And now we for ages, people in the know that understand the mind had a good idea of how it worked, but with these recent studies that have been done by a lot of major universities, we've got an even stronger grip. You're under hypnosis, your brain actually does make changes, chemical changes. So when I first learned to do hypnosis, was years and years ago when I was doing stand-up for a living. I think I told you guys, there was a magician I used to work shows with who also did hypnosis. He taught me how to do inductions, and that was all fine and good, but I was really interested in how the mind worked. And it's like, well, why does that work? Why does me say, and he didn't know. He's just like, well, no, that's just what you say, and they'll go into a trance. Of course, I learned later you're not in a fucking trance, but he didn't know. Somebody had taught him how to do inductions. And back then we didn't have the internet, so I used to read books, man. I'd be getting every book out of the library I could find. There weren't enough on hypnosis, so then I'd be getting out these heavy scientific books that deal with the brain itself that were talking way over my head, so I couldn't even understand a lot of what I was reading. But finally I started putting it together on my own, and then you had the advent of the internet, and then there were a lot more studies done and really explained to us what was happening. But there's a lot of, unfortunately, hypnotists out there right now who can induct you just fine, but they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Hi says, want to make it clear, I don't mind religious meditators. Oh, me either. Though it's a secular practice for me. I hate New Age crap, though. No, again, we're on the same page there. I don't have a problem with anybody meditating for any reason. It's just, for me, it became something that I enjoyed and utilized when I found out why it works. And again, because it's basically just what Hai said. It was always displayed to me as New Age crap. Hippy-dippy stuff, for lack of a better term. And it's like, yeah, well, if I don't understand how something works, I lose interest in it. I don't want to achieve a higher level of consciousness without knowing how I did it. I want to know exactly what took place that made me do it. Because to just believe in something that's out there is not something I'm in for. So yes, I'm the same way. I have no problem with it. If people that want to meditate, people who, I don't even care if you feel like you levitated or something. Excuse me. Again, if that makes you feel good, good for you. But for me, and I think for a lot of people, the reason they don't get into it is because they don't believe in that. Again, New Age crap. I just think stuff like that is better when it's explained what is actually happening. Okay, let me see. I'm so lit right now. Again, for those of you who might have just come in, that's a song. And if you want to go search it up on YouTube, more power to you. You took your own risk. It's the worst song I've ever heard. Darth Gamer says they replied about the cancer. Oh shit! Okay, I was missing it. Okay, hold on. I'll catch up with that. News I heard was wrong. They're still suspended. Oh, good, Tristan. That's actually good to know. That was really that actually distracted me. It was pissing me off so much. They shouldn't even still be suspended as far as I'm concerned, but firing them? All right, let me look for Darth Gamer's response, because I did ask him something. I was asking about his cancer, and then I lost track of his responses. My response, read it above. Okay. Oh, shit, it didn't. No, there it is. I don't have hope to get rid of cancer medically because I discovered it too late, and it was spreading so fast. God damn it. By the way, it's lung cancer from smoking. I've been smoking it for 30 years straight. I'm genuinely sorry to hear that, my friend. That's what got my grandpa as well. Oh man, I don't know what to say in a situation like that. Other than I hope, just for your benefit, I hope for whatever time you have left, I hope you can enjoy it as much as possible. I mean, again, even if it is just the banana in the bridge, I hope you can. I hope you can enjoy whatever you have left of this consciousness that we're all experiencing together. And again, I'm not one for believing in magic, but I am one for believing in the power of, I shouldn't say spirit, because that's probably a misnomer for me in my beliefs, but of our own consciousness and the power of, how strong our brains can force our bodies to become. And towards that end, I hope yours fights for a long period of time, and you get to enjoy as much of our current consciousness as you can. And anytime you want to hang out here with us, obviously, you're always welcome here. And as with all you guys, I am your monkey boy. Whatever I can do to make you guys smile and laugh, I'm willing to do. Case in point, the Boo song earlier. Rada Prince says, like we said earlier, balance, religious and otherwise. Completely agree, Rada Prince. I think the word balance is pretty much all encompassing as far as life in general. Whatever it is you're talking about, if you have good balance, whether it's diet, whether, like we said, whether it's technology, whatever it is, I think if you have good balance, you're generally going to be happier. I think balance is a wildly underrated word in our language. Ma says, need something to smile at? Strip Curtis. Ooh, that's only going to make you smile if, if you're into just horrible visuals. I mean, put it this way, if you like the Saw movies, yes, then maybe Curtis stripping would make you smile. Well, thank you, Darth Gamer. If that's the case at all, I am absolutely more than honored, and I'm perfectly sincere. I hope you enjoy being with us every day. I love having you here with us. I hope the stupid things I do on this channel make you guys happy. I genuinely do. I seriously do. That's again, that's, you guys know my background with the wrestling and the stand-up and everything. That's what I've always wanted to do. If me being a dancing monkey in any way, if I can make some people happy, some people enjoy it, whatever I'm doing, whatever type of performance, that's what it's all about for me. Has been the goal of most of my adult life. So when you guys say it helps you get through stuff, I can't tell you how much that means to me. Pentragon says, I had some really hard time as I was 22. Heart disease at 22? Yow. But I got through it, and now I can look back at the time and feel proud of what I managed, and I'm still able to see so much of the world. Absolutely, for sure, Pentragon. And that's a good example of what we're talking about. When you're dealing with heart disease at 22, but when you keep grinding and you keep just trying to move forward, there's no telling what you might be able to achieve and where you might be able to get to. And it's just like I've always said about dreams. Don't let anybody ever tell you that drives me. Whatever your dream is, don't ever let anybody tell you can't have it. Because the thing of dreams and the thing of aspirations is, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. No matter what you're doing, if you want to be an astronaut, if you want to be a Major League Baseball player, was the example I used last time because that's close to home for me. Are the odds against you? Sure. will you get there? The odds would say probably not, but who cares? Who cares? Chase it anyway. It's so much fun chasing dreams. You don't have to achieve them to have had a lifetime full of good times chasing them. Brandon says, my grandma has cancer. It started in the breast, moved to the bone, went to the head, now is in her liver, and she's still walking strong. Good for her, Brandon. Good for her. I love hearing stuff like that when people can just, again, she's obviously got something sinister. She's got something dire, but just keep plowing through. That's all we can do in life. No matter what life hands us, just keep plowing through it. For however many days it's going to go on, keep plowing through it and keep looking for anything to make you smile. I think that's one of the reasons why I laugh as easy as I do. Again, I've said over and over, I laugh easier than anybody I've ever known because I love laughing. I love the way laughing makes me feel. And whenever I'm laughing, it's just like another positive. There's no reason to be laughing and not creating a positive memory. So stuff like Brandon's grandma, I love hearing stuff like that. Just keep grinding it out. Just keep having a good time. Don't let anything tell you can't have a good time. Darth Gamer says, my father and grandfather died from cancer. Ugh, that's why it was my biggest fear ever. I will fight for it and have hope. Thanks so much for giving me hope. I appreciate it. Again, Darth, if this has given you any extra hope, any extra motivation, I am so honored, and I'm so genuinely sincere. We're here with you, pal. And I think I can speak for everybody here. The great thing about this community, and particularly the community of us that typically hangs out together here at the live streams, is it's like insulated from the normal stupidity that is the internet in general and YouTube in specific. I think you'll find pretty much everybody here, all the names in here today I recognize. Everybody's with you. And again, not superficially, genuinely with you. So every day, I hope you can come hang out with us, watch videos, hang in the streams, whatever it is. If we can make you feel better in any way, shape, or form, I guarantee you they'll tell you that right now. We're happy to be each other's support group. That's the least a community element can do for one another. Let's see. and even the train supports you, Darth, because the fucking train had to show up. Goddamn train. Oh fuck. Seaman Kitch, I get through it with my Dangalang, man. Where's Dangalang been? As a matter of fact, not just saying that. Well, we haven't seen Dangalang in a few days. Tristan says, laugh my ass off. Rick Santorum said the Parkland students should learn CPR. Yeah. I saw that, Tristan. Instead of marching, the wise rooster teeth Griff. How will CPR help with a gun wound? Yeah. Oh, so it's amazing, Tristan. And that's one thing that definitely spans both sides of the aisle. Is there's never any shortage of stupidity that comes out of politicians' mouths. Learn CPR instead of marching. I was like, and I actually had a decent. Okay, it was stupid. I guess you shouldn't say you don't respect the man anymore. But I respected Rick Santorum. But how can he... Come on. How can he even say anything that stupid and mind-bogglingly insensitive? Jesus Christ. Keep Plowing Through It by Curtis Candy, book title. Keep on plowing, Rabbit Prince, right? That would probably... If I were ever to write a book... And again, I hesitate to use the word motivational because even if that is... What I'm hoping is that it motivates somebody talking about these things. It's like, sometimes we say motivational, it's almost like, here, let me say what I think you need to hear. What I'm saying is what I honestly, genuinely believe. Oh, God damn it. Fucking train. That was. So Dursa says, didn't you know a senile old bastard yelling at trains cures cancer? Just take a bit to set in. If that doesn't work, look at his metrosexual son. Well, listen, if a senile old bastard yelling at trains cures anything, everybody should just, this is where we should all hang out together. Because this senile old bastard will not stop screaming at those trains, at least until I move. And my grandkids are here, so there's not much chance of me moving. So I will be screaming at this train until I probably can't scream anymore, and I just sit here and rock. Not that saying that I do all that much more than that right now, but rape the train, Wolfie says. Hey, Gary, I haven't seen you in ages, pal. The only thing to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Well, I won't. That's certainly I'm in agreement. That's certainly a well thought out solution to bad guys with the guns. Put it that way. Brandon says she's a big wrestling fan, so I think that makes her strong. She's always been a no bullshit person. Is she, Brandon? That's cool. Big wrestling fan. We're talking about Brandon's grandma. That's cool. I love seeing people like that are just as you describe, a no bullshit person. I think the no bullshit types are the ones who typically handle things like what your grandma's going through quite well, because like they're good at just what we're talking about, just plowing through. No bullshit, no nothing. Just keep going forward. It's a limited experience we have here in this consciousness on this planet for all of us. So get every bit of enjoyment out of it for as long as you can. Sajil says, I went to Relay for Life 2 weeks ago in Brock University, raised $37,000 for cancer awareness and research. Wow, that's good. Holy shit, that's a good amount for the relay. I've seen some of those Relays for Life. That's a good amount. Man, you guys must have had a lot of participation. That's always good to see. Let's see. Radha Prince says, yeah, you never perform CPR on an open wound. I know. That was it was mind-bogglingly stupid that he would even say something like that. Even if it was well-intentioned, which I'm sure it was well-intentioned, think a little bit before you speak. What? You gotta love politicians. Yes. Hi says, that's on one of our t-shirts in the t-shirt shops. You are never truly alone as long as you can play with yourself, or as long as you can touch yourself. Curtis Candy campaign quote. I think that should get me elected to something. Probably nothing I want high, but it should get me elected to something. Spez Wolfie for Mode Kage. I shall hunt the train. We're gonna have to. The streams haven't been as popping. It changes seasonally anyway, as they were. But soon, if it looks like Galahad's not going to be able to be around with us for whatever reason, I still haven't been able to make contact with him. We'll probably put another mod on just to make sure our mods don't get overwhelmed. It's too bad too, because I got writing a part in rah-rah about Galahad's character, the character named after him, and I posted it in the rah-rah 1K portion of the Discord, and he's not around to see it anymore. And at Madara, I told you just drink some Clorox. It's really weird for him, Lude. I'm just hoping everything's okay. I mean, I don't have any problem if he's got other things going on in his life or whatever. I completely understand that, and I'm good with it. It really struck me as funny that not only that he's gone, and he's got a lot of avenues to reach out to me, and he never reached out to me. I'm just hoping he's okay. Because like when his he had to keep making new accounts at YouTube, he'd get a hold of me in Discord and just say, hey, Curtis, can you go make this account a mod because my old one's gone? And I would do it for him. So I know he knows how to reach out to me, but he hasn't. So that's what is concerning. And even if he had lost his YouTube channel and he couldn't get it back for whatever reason, he could still get me on Discord. So that's why I'm just a little concerned, because I haven't heard anything from him. Yeah, really fast, Big Green. Yeah, he was an excellent mod and just a fun member of the community. So I just hope nothing happened to him. Oh, Madara Uchiha, the user, asked the question. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Madara. Oh, there we go. Madara says, my dad left me when I was a baby. Oh, I hate that. When I was a baby and I got bullied at school my whole life. I have suicidal thoughts, Spaz. I don't know what to do anymore. What do I do? First of all, I completely sympathize with you. I mean, for whatever that's worth, there's nothing worse than a father or a parent. Let's be fair. A parent abandoning their kids. Listen, relationships can go bad all day long. Romantic relationships. So get away from the romantic partner doesn't mean you get away from your kids. So I can completely sympathize with you there. That absolutely sucks. And the getting bullying, you guys know that As far as I'm concerned, the two biggest scourges in life, the two most abysmal, scummy pieces of shit walking around are those that fit in the category of child predators and bullies. And given that, oh man, just the idea of somebody getting bullied and having to feel the way that you're talking about feeling because of it. Again, I know I tend to repeat myself. What you got to try and do, as difficult as it is, you got to try and look beyond the bullies. You got to, whatever it is, again, that makes you happy, look towards that. If it's coming to the streams, if it's watching the video, if it's, again, I'm going to use the same thing over and over. If it's your own personal bridge and a banana, you got to go to those distractions. You got to find those little things that they can't fix what's going on, but maybe they can distract you from it and make you smile a little bit and reach out to whoever you can. I don't know, obviously, the particulars of your situation. Reach out to anybody who will be sympathetic and try and get the bullying stopped. Hopefully there's somebody in school, a teacher, a counselor, someone who can do something. Tell them exactly what you're telling us here. Tell them that it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's completely understandable. Don't be ashamed to tell people that things have gotten so bad for you that you think that might be the only way out for you. Tell them that. Somebody's got to step up and help you at some point. But in the meantime, keep looking forward. Just keep looking forward. Just keep grabbing every little nugget of goodness, everything that makes you happy. And as hard as it is to believe, these things do pass. Time will heal them. You'll get away from the bullying. You'll move beyond. Those fucking dirtbags will go to their miserable, abysmal lives in a trailer somewhere, or living under a bridge, or wherever they're going to end up. And you can rise way the hell above that and make a life for yourself that will be separate from a possibility of anybody ever bullying you again. Don't let them take it down. Don't let anybody else dictate the destination of your life. Your dad taking off on you is completely his loss. That's just, he missed out. There's nothing better than having a relationship with your kids. There's nothing better than watching your kids grow up. He missed. As much as it sucks for you, you just got to put him in your rearview mirror. Hey, if you didn't want to be a part of me, there are people out here who will, and they will. And you just got to keep grinding. Just keep moving ahead. I wish I could tell you more than that. Galahad! Oh, good. Okay, Galahad. No. We were just worried about you. Hopefully everything's going okay in the hospital, pal. Nope. No concerns here at all, other than we were just worried about you. We're just worried about you, pal. So if you're still watching, get better. When you get back, if you feel like sharing, let us know what happened. But I'm just glad. Oh, okay, that just made me feel a lot better. We were just worried about you because you're here so often, and then when you weren't, and that's just exactly what I was afraid of, is that something might have happened. And obviously, if you're in the hospital, you're not having a good time. So something did happen. Take your time, do whatever you need to do, and we will be here when you get back. And again, whatever you want to share with us for stories, let us know. But thank you for letting us know. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's excellent. That makes me feel better. I'm in the hospital. I don't have internet. I'm using someone's phone without permission right now. Someone let Chris know. No, we got. All right. Well, if you didn't see that, Galahad, well, this video will go live to the channel. Oh, good. He's here. Excellent. Galahad message. Well, thank you, Maz, because I did almost miss that. Thank you for putting that in there. Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes me feel a lot better. Yeah, I know, Big Green. So many theories floating around. Well, that's all. I just worry, again, now, because, again, this channel is so important to me, and you guys are so important to me. I actually am able to remember, for the most part, particulars such as people that are able to be here every day, as opposed to people that pop in and out. And when somebody's here as often as Galahad always was, and then he's just not here for a while, it's like, okay, that's a major red flag. Just like what happened with Jacob, when Jacob was having a bad day and then he didn't show up for a couple days, Jacob Howell. It's you get concerned. Same thing too. I was concerned about BTG, but the gang has told me that BTG had at least been in the Discord here or there, so we can assume nothing happened to him. Michael says, there's only one relationship more rewarding and more beautiful than the one you have with your children. That's the one you have with the Lord. Well, that's not my thing, Michael. But again, what Michael says there is exactly why I don't come down on people who have religion in their life. And even though I'm an atheist, it's like other atheists actually piss me off with their... And again, it's not everybody. But it seems like a predominant number of them with their arrogance towards people that have religious faith. Listen, as long as their religious faith isn't causing them to act out against others or to hurt others or to take something away from others, leave them alone. Because exactly what Michael says, if he feels his relationship with the Lord is rewarding and beautiful, absolutely good for him. It's something that gives him peace. It's something that brings him joy and happiness. Why does anybody care what someone else does to bring themselves joy? Good for you, Michael. Gary says, hey, Chris, I got an idea. What? God damn it. Dropped right down as I was trying to read it. Why don't we march for all the kids who get bullied every day so we can stop bullying so we don't get any more school shootings because we didn't stand up to the bullies? Gary, I've been you're preaching to the choir here, to use some religious terminology. I've been saying that for some time, and I don't think that's going to immediately stop all school shootings. I think it would be I honestly think it would have a much, much greater impact than even if you were to go out and ban semi-automatic weapons, for instance, because I think it's much more important to get to the root cause of what makes the child snap than it is to try and restrict their accessibility to one of the tools that they can use to act out. So yes, I'm with you. Hey, Alex, from Moscow, very cool. I'm with you 100%. I think that's where we really need to start, is supporting kids, making sure that everybody has an opportunity to go to school every day and feel like a whole person, like not be afraid and not feel berated. Absolutely. To Michael, hail Satan, renegade for life. I lost that one, so I didn't see what oh, Van Riley is hailing Satan. I don't know what happened there. And that's what I'm saying, Odin, and that's my belief. But whatever, whatever gets somebody through. If a relationship with God makes them happy, well, good for them. Absolutely. Hell, let's face it. When all is said and done, everything is way better off if I'm wrong and they're right. Because the way I believe, we're just going to be nothing. We're going to go back to dirt and decay. So if there's something else afterwards, that'd be awesome. Oh, sure, Odin, but I think that's true within any group. I just get irritated with other atheists, so when they feel like they have to demean everything someone says because it's in religion. Now, if they have a reason, that's different. And I'm not talking about everybody jumps to Muslims. I'm not talking about just Muslims here. I'm talking about any religion where they want to bring harm to somebody else. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with anybody wanting to harm somebody else on behalf of anything. But as far as people my wife's a good example. She's a very religious person. And it just gives her peace. It gives her joy. So good for her. I mean, I'm glad she's got that. Religious as a concept is absolutely fine. It's the people that enforce those religious practices that are the problem, for the most part. Yes, absolutely, Sammy. Unfortunately, I think there's going to be more and more, I like to think there are too, of people like my wife who, even though she's religious and she's a Catholic, my wife has no problem at all pointing out and being very vocal about when the Catholics have any type of stance that goes against someone else's rights or someone else, the things that other people should be allowed to have in life. So hopefully there'll be, the more people like that, the more religious people like that there are, the better. My friend made you go to the relay, said Jill. It was my punishment for breaking my promise to her that I'll never smoke again. That actually sounds like a good friend, though, Sajil. Sounds like somebody that's really got your back. Michael Tanner, guessing he crossed the line with his shit posting. Who are we talking about, guys? Hold on, I'll look for Michael's. I lost track. I didn't know who we were talking about. I don't know. Is it cancer to push? I lost it. I'm sorry, I didn't see what it was. I only caught part of it. I'm not seeing what the conversation was. Lit right now. Hail me, I will become a mod. Bark my words. Wolfie, you make me smile every goddamn day. Ma says, fuck the afterlife. I don't want to explain the content of my porn folder to St. Pete. Yeah, we're in that. we're floating in the same boat together there, Maz. Yeah, because if we go to that after we die, if we go and there's some pearly gates and all that rigmarole, whoo! I got a lot. Oh man, I don't know. I'm pretty good when I want to be at spinning something. I don't know that I can spin that fast, Maz. Like you say, just my internet history alone is going to be like, oh, holy, have you got a while, St. Pete? Listen, I can explain each one of these things. I'm Muslim, and I can tell you we don't deal in extremism, live in harmony with all other religions as well as atheists. I personally don't do dogma. Yeah, and that's why, well, that's the only reason, Radar Prince, I always, when I want to say something like that, because we know the current state of affairs in the world, as soon as you say, listen, I'm okay with religion as long as they're not professing violence or acting out with violence towards anybody else, people immediately go, oh, the Muslims. Well, no. Right now, there are people who in their own specific Muslim beliefs are acting out on behalf of the religion, but those people are honestly, to the vast majority of Muslims, those people are not even practicing the teachings that the Muslim religion professes. So that's why I'm just careful to point it out, because trust me, Christians in every denomination throughout history have done some pretty shitty people on behalf of their religion as well. I don't know of a religion, Buddhism, maybe? You guys could correct me. Maybe Buddhism. But I don't know of a religion that hasn't perpetrated some sort of discrimination or evil upon others as on behalf of their religion. You guys might be able to tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe Buddhists haven't. Buddhists are pretty chill. Other Michael used other person's cancer to push God. Oh, I didn't even see that. Michael. Well, there's a difference. I mean, my only issue with that is I don't care for people, like you say, somebody's dealing with cancer. Don't come at somebody, like if it's me dealing with cancer, please, it's very disrespectful to come at me telling me that, God will do this, Jesus will do that, because that's not what I believe and it's not what I want to hear. So, yes, being religious is great, and I hope it gives people peace and comfort, but it also comes with the responsibility to understand that it's not everybody else's avenue. Lude says, personally, I don't like religion. Faith is good. It's what gives a person happiness, and that's fine. But religion enforces certain things that make no sense and restricts some freedoms. I'm not into that. I agree with you for the most part, Lude. That's basically what what we're talking about with what I outlined with my wife. Because even though she's Catholic, there's been a number of issues that number of things she's taken issue with the Catholic Church because of their beliefs. So I think she's more spiritual than religious, but the Catholic Church is where she goes to practice her spirituality, basically. Buddhists are not, and that's interesting, because I don't know a lot about Buddhists. Buddhists are not really chill. They committed their fair share of crimes against Muslims in Myanmar. It's still going on. Oh, really, Tom? Now, see, that's interesting to me. This is one of the reasons I love the streams. I always learn something new. See, I know, of the major religions, I probably know the least about Buddhism. So that's interesting to know, because I always thought the Buddhists were all about, just live and let live at all times. But I guess, as we've said, within every religion, I guess you can't escape extremism to some people. Am I the only one that hates religion because they take our money? Well, a lot of people, what a lot of people hate about religion, and I can understand it to a certain degree. In America here, and I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but a lot of people hate about religions, they don't pay taxes. There's some legitimacy to that. And I've always said, I've been asked about that before. Like, if I were to become president, no, I would not make religions pay taxes, because it's been so long standing that it would just destroy, even though it's not my thing, it would destroy many organized religions. However, if I was there at the start and they said, okay, hey, do you think religions should be exempt from paying taxes? I would have said, fuck no. G-Tracker says, nah, Buddhists in Myanmar are pretty hostile to a Muslim minority. Millions of them crossed the border into Bangladesh to avoid the Myanmar military. Really? Now, this is interesting to me. See, again, this another reason I love these streams. You guys are always teaching me things. And I'll be the first to admit my international knowledge is not even close to what I think it should be or what I would like it to be. Now, that's fascinating to me. I did not know that. So I guess basically what we're saying is every religion at some point or another has an extremist sect that does something to someone else. Maya says, to be fair, the Bible does say that we are created in his image, so maybe all of this trap porn won't be an issue. Well put, Maz. Maz, one of the things I've really grown to appreciate you is I like how you can put a positive spin on things. I like that. That's excellent. Random Prince says, by the sword means by word and action. They take it literal. I'm not for anything that takes your ability to question and be rational. And in all fairness, Random Prince, because I know, I think, a decent number of Muslim people, I've never felt threatened by any of them. Seem like cool, chill people to me. So, but unfortunately, when you have a sect within whatever your organization is, whether it's religion, your nation, your state, whatever it may be, when you have a particular group that is taking heinous actions, it tends to get everybody painted with that same broad brush. Look at even in America right now. Republicans, conservatives get painted with the broad brush of the extremist scumbag white supremacists in that take refuge in that side of the aisle, and all liberals tend to, by a lot of people, get painted with the same broad brush of the psychotic social justice warriors who are over the top with their ridiculous beliefs and notions, and their 70-something genders, and if you don't use the right pronoun for me, then you should be thrown in jail, and let's get rid of any type of speech that I don't agree with as hate speech. So it goes on everywhere, and again, it's unfortunate though for the Muslims that the portion that wants to hijack their religion as to something violent had become such a power within the world that it painted them all with that bad brush. I think it's a positive movement. That ISIS is probably, you can't say that ISIS is dead, but they're on life support with a very, very dim prognosis, and I think that'll help the way the world sees Muslims when you get these scumbags eliminated. If I remember right, Josianism is the most peaceful religion because it's predicated on nonviolence, non-absolutism, and non-attachment. Now, is that Jainism? I'm not even familiar with that term, Michael. I'm curious. I just want to see that. I'm not familiar with that term at all. But there's, to be fair, there's a lot I don't know about religion. Jainism, a non-theistic religion founded in India in the 6th century BC by the Jina Vardhamana Mahavira as a reaction against the teachings of Orthodox Brahmanism, and still practiced there. Really? The Jain religion teaches salvation by perfection through successive lives and non-injury to living creatures, and is noted for its ascetics. That's very cool. Well done, Michael. Wow, you guys are way more knowledgeable about this stuff than am I. Never even heard of that, and you had it right off the top of your head. Very cool. Very cool. Anbu says, Curtis, you're awesome. Thank you for the positive vibes. You taught me to hate trains more and hate cows with a passion. Well, thank you, Anbu. I appreciate that. And again, if the positivity is just because, and I mean this sincerely, I care about you guys. You guys mean something to me. And when I see so many people just feeling overwhelmed, and so many different people talking to me about, I just don't know how I get through to the next day, it makes me feel bad. And so I just thought this might be a good stream. And I think maybe, hopefully it's been cathartic for a lot of you guys being able to come here and talk. And because we do have each other. We've got each other in here. And I think that's been on display here. But thank you, Ambu. I appreciate that. And yes. And growing up, I was never like the train kid. I like trains, but I always thought trains were cool. It's just as I've gotten old and they won't leave me the fuck alone that I hate trains. Kabuto I hated from immediacy, though. That freaking... It is funny how... and again, I guess I should congratulate the voice actor. Because you're not supposed to like Kabuto. And the English voice actor does a hell of a job of immediately having, at least to me, having you look at that guy and go, I want to smash you in your stupid, smug face just with that voice. So, actually, I think he's doing a good job. Brandon says, Canadian peacefully from Canada watches the U.S. destroy itself, laughs like it's a sitcom. Free healthcare, bitches. I think, I tell you, Brandon, there was a time where, not so long ago, where you'd hear the same type of thing, and I would say, "All right, come on, you silly Canadians, we're not gonna self-destruct." I'm not so sure anymore. We are, unfortunately, clearly closer to a civil war than we have been in any time in my life and well beyond. I mean, it's frightening what's going on in our country right now. So you're right. You Canadians can just sit on a bridge with a banana and watch us implode the way it's starting to unfold here. But I think there's little doubt. I'm not saying that a civil war here is a certainty. I'm just saying in my lifetime, and I want to say many years prior to my lifetime beginning, there's never been a time when we were this close to having violence in our streets against one another. Van says, I am pantheistic, so I kind of view the universe as God. Okay. Or at least it's the closest thing to a God I know. Its existence is the reason we exist. That's kind of interesting. I never really heard about that. I never heard it stated that way, Van. I get what you're saying, though. So basically the backdrop of what we know, of what everything is painted upon, the universe, for lack of a better word, the backdrop of existence is God. I get what you're saying. That's kind of cool. I'd never heard it... heard that said like that before, but that's kind of a neat idea. Jack Queen says, I'd have all of you. well, we appreciate that, Jack. All will hail to the almighty space duck. Well, that's a given, Bryce King. That's a given. If there was one entity that I was someday going to worship, it would probably be the almighty space duck, yes. Oh, you guys make me laugh. I am Christian, but worship chair. God understands. Fucking spaz chair. I hate spaz chair. It's gonna be funny if how funny would it be though someday if somehow, some way, something let loose in this chair and it just fell at an awkward enough angle that I get my leg caught up in the desk, wrench my knee, and bash my head off the side of these stands I've got right next here, and the desk actually takes me out. Chairism. Who said that? It's spaz chair. Oh, shit. Here. You haven't had one on that side in a while, you fuck. Hate spaz chair. Spaz chair is the living embodiment of just exactly how petty and whiny I can be. Because I don't want him getting all the positive attention he gets. Spaz Chair's wisdom is intimate and brought me back to this live stream. Thanks, Joe. You guys are good. Mega says, Curtis, you should make your own religion called Spasism and our God, Spaz Chair. No, if I make my own religion, he's Satan. Fuck Spaz Chair. Please leave the chair streaming before you die. Yes. Oh, you guys are good. Someday I should do that. If I remember, I will actually do that someday just to see what happens, because I'd have to keep the stream up on the channel one of these days, and I'm not going to announce it just because you guys said that. I'm going to do a Spaz Chair stream. I'm going to start the stream rolling, leave this piece of shit sitting right here, and I'm going to leave. And that's going to be it. Excuse me. Tristan says, God is claimed to be maximal, omniscient, omnipotent, and alone. If that's the case, why are there 4,200 other religions? They can't all be right. Well, that's a great conundrum, Tristan, and you're right. It's like, okay, even if we're basically to accept that there is a God, and I think most all religions believe that their God or gods are omnipotent and rule on either his or their own, who's right? Because you're right. The thing of it is that I think that's what weakens the belief in religion for a lot of people, is that there are so many. So you're really onto something there. I mean, you do have to ask that. It's like, well, okay, even if I'm willing to believe, which a lot of people are, that there's a God, how do I know I've got the right one? Because this guy says that, it's Allah. This guy says Jesus is the man. This person says it's Buddha. Whoever it may be, how do I know I'm with the right one? And the most common answer you get is, well, it's my faith. But then all of them will say that too. Their faith tells them that. So yes, you're right. I think the fact that there are so many religions hurts religion in general. Richard says, love your videos, man. Well, thank you. Especially your DBZ reactions. Love how empathetic you are, and I enjoy watching you have fun with the videos, man. I'm subscribed much. Well, thanks, Richard. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love the DBZ characters. I love the Naruto characters. I just never imagined I would be into these characters with the depth of emotion that I have for them. I mean, they're just so well done. It's just crazy. Yes, Special says, great idea, Curtis. I will do that for you guys one of these days. And again, it won't be announced or anything. You'll just see it. I was going to say in the notification. Yeah, if you get a notification, it'll just say Spaz Chair Stream, and that's it. It'll probably be a time when I have stuff I got to do, errands to run, whatever I got to do, got somewhere to go. I'm going to just leave him here. And I say, by the time I get back, you'll hate this fucker. Because I think you guys will see he's not always cracked up to be. He's all right in small doses. But when he tries to run a whole stream, you say that he's a dick. Extinct says, hi Curtis, thoughts on Balkans? I would love to give you some, Extinct, but again, I'm just so bad. I have no knowledge to impart with you. I fully and with a great deal of embarrassment admit that I'm not nearly as strong on international affairs as I would like to be. Should we need to make special sign for when that time comes? I didn't think of that, Big Green. Adolf Hitler says, your eyes are very blue, Curtis. Maybe you aren't a Jew. Well, like I said before, though, for some reason, it's this webcam. Because my eyes go between blue and a hazel color. I guess depends on light or maybe what level of evil's currently coursing through my blood. I don't know why. But the one thing is for sure, this stupid webcam always makes my eyes look way bluer than they are. What you see in the reaction videos when I'm using my main camera, that's way closer to the real color. It'd be false advertising, except nobody's offering to have sex with me anyway, even with the blue eyes, so. Best quote I've heard about atheists. We just believe in one less God than you do. That's pretty cool, Maz. I never heard that one. That's pretty cool. I like that. Pendragon says, his eyes are so blue, he'll never make it and get the Sharingan. Good, he stopped with his plan. But I had it for a short while, and then it went away. But you're probably right. That's probably why. The goddamn color of my eye. That's what it... Well... Hey, look, I watch Naruto. I know that eye transplants are as easy as popping one out, popping one in. So I'll just go find somebody else with a Sharingan. That's all. Tracker says, I'm going to convert to Jediism just to spite my mom. Well done, Tracker. Your spiritual leader will be a little short green goblin guy. Oh, worship me, you do. Curtis gets some trauma. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do extra. That's the only way I'm going to get my Sharingan back. You need I know, Pendragon. I don't have any brothers. I only got a couple sisters, and according to Naruto, it seems like the girls never get the Sharingan. What the hell? Because I'd go snatch an eye from one of my sisters. Go fuck yourself, Train. My friend's grandpa died of cancer. Oh, shit. Dropped down on me here a little. Shajil. My friend's grandpa died of cancer, and she gets so pissed every time I smoke. She even tried to sell me her vape, and I was such a dick to her. Now she's mad at me because I started drinking again. I mean, again, I just, from your brief descriptions here, Shajil, of course, I don't know any of the particulars, but it sounds like, though, she does have your best interest at heart. I don't know how she goes about expressing those interests to you, but, you know, if you find it uncomfortable or whatever, but it does. The power of spaz chair compels you, but it does sound like she's actually looking out for you. Egyptian Jesus, I saw. Okay. Oh, Tracker, I did see that one. Okay. I think I'm a god every time I take a pic. My eyes shine like the sun. Really, Brandon? So maybe there is something to that whole. See, it gives some credence to that whole, you know, having a soul thing and everything. Your soul is like shining through. Whenever a picture gets taken of me, it just looks like pure evil. So yeah, maybe there is something to be said for that then, because that would be accurate as well. Rowan says, your eyes are the same as Naruto's. That's a great thing. Who wants those ass pull Sharingans? There you go, Rowan. Yeah, because if mine are the same as Naruto, I could have some badass Sage Mode shit going on. That I'd be in for. Niall says, I don't get how religious people can believe something even if evidence contradicts it. I get that, Niall. In fairness, it's not a fairness issue. That's a stupid thing to say. I generally, I don't bring it up to religious people, not because I don't like a good debate, but because, again, I'm not looking to demean them for their beliefs, but I agree with you. It's like, especially when, you know when it really irks me? When you get them saying things like the dinosaurs didn't exist. And that's where I start to get. That's where I have to walk away from it, or then I'm not going to be able to avoid having an issue with it because. And again, I don't have a problem with people having a religion. And I think it's great that it brings them peace and stuff. But when you start saying things that are just absolutely factually inaccurate, yes, then it gets difficult. That one always got me when the religious people will tell you that the dinosaurs never walked the planet. Because, you know, it happened with Adam and Eve and blah, 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 and they were never a part of it. It's like, all right, come on. Joe Kage says, I'm offering Curtis high five, and in the end you will confess your feelings for Spaz Chair, and you will passionately make out as you undress each other and tenderly start licking. Oh, why did it wiggle? Damn, that turned me on. Who else? Yeah, completely wiggled. Wait a second. Did we determine... Have we all been assuming Spaz Chair's gender? It just occurs to me now as Joe says that I think we have. Well, aren't we just a fine bunch of little non-politically correct douchebags? How do we determine? All right. Where do we look to see what gender Spaz Chair is? Is it... You guys, I'll hold it up to the... Can you see any of the goods? I don't know how we... Shut up, Spaz Chair. Just do what you're told. Wait a second. Oh, that's right, though. Wait. What am I thinking? I just perpetrated even more non-PC horseshit because it doesn't matter if Spaz Chair has a penis or a vagina. Gender is about what it feels. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. You saw penis, my love? Everybody saw a dick. No, Ender said it's female. Oh, see now. Public indecency. Yeah, Esther's right. YouTube will probably give me a community guidelines strike for this one for showing Spaz Chair's naked underside. That would be awesome. You just raised Spaz Chair by doing that. Oh, God damn it. I just completely, I just blew apart every social construct that I should be in reverence of. Oh, shit. Tracker said, Usain Bolt is my spirit animal. Gotta go fast. I love that guy. I loved watching him race. Usain Bolt, he was awesome. Careful, it's a trap. Who knows, who cares, says. It's gender 36, Jacqueline said. In French, every chair is female. Are you French? Fuck you, Spaz Chair. Gender 36. I know that was a good one, Em. Sexual harassment. Curtis, stop looking at the chair's privates. But hi, it was for science. And I count 8 dicks with wheels. So I don't even think we've adequately answered that. I guess we better let Spaz Chair decide what gender it is before the PC police come in here with fucking, I don't know what the PC police use. They don't believe in guns. Nightsticks, mace, is that too violent for it? Why am I worried about the PC police? They're a bunch of pussies. Okay, we're good. Spaz Chair's Bulgarian, Clicksbox says. Dark Slaver says, wait, why isn't Spaz Chair wearing pants? It's a good question, you fucking perv. Spaz Chair's gender might be pedo or something. I'm not sure I'm comfortable having my ass this closely associated with Spaz Chair anymore. Okay, I am kinda. PC police use dildos. Yeah, probably, Hollywood Gary. Probably. The penetrator, remember? Exeter says, Curtis, why do you even need its gender? Are you going to gasp? Discriminate based on its gender when you find out? I was gonna. It's a nudist, Ender says. Now, see, this is why these streams in this channel are such a vital part of the online community. Where else are you going to go today and be faced with forcing yourself to come to grips with a chair's sexual gender? We're moving the conversation forward. Check again, Jacqueline says. Spaz Chair's been eating your ass for years. Have you even noticed? No, Joe, and that's disturbing because apparently Spaz Chair's not particularly good at it then. Yeah, Spaz Chair. Make it wiggle. Do something. Bitch. It's Curtis's sex slave. Gary says Spaz Chair is actually John Cena. That's still one of my, that initial prank call, that John Cena one is still one of my all-time favorite things online. I came here for chair nudes. Pewdoo says. Tom says, Jesus, the story of billions of genders really triggers me. Thank God we don't have this SJW shit here in Italy. Oh, Tom, it's just, and it's just gotten so over the top. I mean, it really has. It was been, I think they would even been, it would have been a little bit more acceptable if they had stopped at, okay, you have male, you have female. Sometimes certain people feel like they got it wrong when they were born. You want to go to the other team. And I think you could have even stretched it as far as some people are just confused and not sure what they want to be and make a third gender that's just like out there. But when you started going into this, and they were serious and they make their lists of all the potential genders, as far as I'm concerned at that point, go fuck off. Go fuck yourself. And maybe that's what maybe there's probably are a lot of genders in there where that's actually what you do is fuck yourself. But you know what? Who cares? If it's a girl you just did a domestic abuse. Ooh, that's true, Jacqueline. Holy shit, I could have committed a lot of crimes on today's stream. Oh, this one's definitely getting the community guideline strike. I think there's no doubt. I have 2 transgender friends and support them all the way. I'm damn proud of how far they have come. Yeah, I've got, I have, I wouldn't say friends because I don't see them every day, but I have 3 acquaintances who are transgender. And again, I don't have any problem with them at all. I don't think it's transgender people that have moved that bizarre conversation so far to the left with the, with the 70-something different genders and all that stuff. I think the true transgender people are just people that, for whatever reason, whatever that reason may be, feels more comfortable as the sex other than what they were born as. And that I don't have an issue with. How many crimes don't you commit on stream? Good point, Hi. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some I haven't. Oh, good point. Mega says, Curtis, you should make a torture porno where you and Spaz Kid tie Spaz Chair to the wall and kick the crap out of him, throw rocks at him, and whip him until he screams like a little bitch. The most terrifying thing about that, Mega, is somebody would fap to that. There's no question in my mind. No matter what you put on the internet, no matter what kind of visuals you put out there, I think somebody will fap to absolutely everything. Check Patreon, Curtis. Send you a link to a site with all the genders. Best one is the one that is a combination of all the genders. It's starting to sound like this whole gender thing, like a really bad anime where they just ran out of ideas. I'll go check that in a second. Check last post, Wolfie says. Then I'll go check that. Where are you, Wolfie? I'd call Spaz the N-word, but he is supporting the fam. Well done, Wolfie. All right, hold on. Let me see. I want to see this list of all the genders. Messages. There's Maz. Okay. Age of Shorts. I like the website. Complete list of Tumblr genders so far. Oh, God. Oh my God. A Bema gender, a gender which is profound, deep, and infinite. Absor gender, a gender that changes to conform to the genders. Oh my God. If any of you guys want to see that, hold on. Let me put it in a bit.ly, because otherwise our links don't work. Let me put this in a bit.ly. This is what Maz just sent me, you guys. You got to check this out. I got to come back to it later. I want to read this. It's gonna actually. I probably shouldn't, because it's just gonna piss me off. All right. Here, for any of you guys who want to see it, this is what Maz just sent me. Hold on just a second, guys, and I'll get the super chats. Check that out. Check out that bit.ly. It's just going to piss me off. I'm going to end up watching it, and it's just going to piss me off. Or reading it, it's going to piss me off. Hanbu says, Spaz Chair is trending now. What the hell? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it be? Go over to hashtag Spaz Chair. Yeah, Spaz Chair will get a trend way before I do. Brandon says, Curtis, when are you making a Spaz Chair body pillow? No, I can't do that until I get my Saris one. After that, if I get a Saris body pillow, I would even be willing to do a Spaz Chair body pillow and make it sit in the corner and watch what I do to the Saris body pillow. Yeah. So wait, in Spasm, if Curtis is God, Spaz Kid is Jesus, and Spaz Chair is Satan, then what is Train Sama and Susan? That's a good question, Mega. So they gotta be somewhere in between. Well, Train Sama would have to be like one of Spaz Chair's minions, no? Basically a demon. And Susan, we'd have to figure a way to make Susan a perpetual victim of the religion. Let's see. Is being gaming guy says, is being racist? No. Spaz Chair is a Hexter says in before Spaz Chair is a furry. M gets to be Aphrodite. Supreme Saiyan says make a Spaz Kid body pillow so I can torture it. Pendragon, who is Susan? Wojcicki. Susan Wojcicki is the CEO of YouTube, Pendragon. I sexually identify as a supersonic intercontinental ballistic Bukaki missile. Yeah, really. And let me tell you, when that missile lands, even Hiroshima and Nagasaki are going to be going, oh, goddamn, glad that's not the one that hit us. The train is the Antichrist. There you go, Bryce. Yeah, the train is basically anti-everything. The train is anti-Christ and also not affiliated with Satan. The train is its own separate evil entity. I want to be a hermaphrodite, Jacqueline says. Ender says, I'm a Fury and I'm proud. I'm a furry and I'm proud to be one. I identify as a gun and I'm triggered. Jokage. Brandon, you actually saw 2 furries walking by your house? See, again, my thing on that is it's fun to tease them. It's fun to poke fun and stuff, and so I've been doing my whole comedy career. But again, even with furries, they're not hurting anybody. Let them do whatever they want. Not my thing, but what the hell? If somebody's thing, who cares? Is Spaz Chair a furry? I would say at least, Ender. I would say probably, and that's not the only bizarre thing about Spaz Chair as well. Maz says, Cirque gender, a gender that feels, or Circe maybe, a gender that feels so magical and grand as to be indescribable. I honestly can't with this shit. I'm dying inside. Maz, I'm seriously, and I mean this literally, I may not be able to read that whole thing because it's just going to piss me off. Cirque gender, a gender, and the fact that people actually believe this shit and actually believe there's a need for this list. Just what Maz is talking about. A gender that feels so magical and grand as to be indescribable. I can describe you. You're a fuckwad. There's a description for you. Well, yeah, if I'm going to let this stream go live to the channel. If YouTube gets to this portion of it when they review it, they'll definitely, because when you make fun of the social justice warriors and make fun of the 70-something genders, they would definitely, they can't really give me a community guideline strike because it's not in violation of that, but they'll definitely, at the very least, try it and demonetize it. D Kitchen says, I've been diagnosed with permanent depressive disorder. Oh, that's unfortunate. For 4 years, anyone who needs to talk, message me. I love watching your reaction to badass anime scenes that I love myself. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And that's very kind of you to offer to people. Lewd Angel says, I'm basically like Alucard. There's no one alive who can comprehend my sexual preference. Focus on the word alive. Very important word within that phrase. Spectre says, SJWs will probably be furious at you for making fun of me, and I'm sorry for it. Oh, excuse me. Maz found another one. Cocoon gender. A gender that has not come out yet or has yet to emerge in its full form. This isn't even my final form. Fuck my life, I'm gonna die laughing. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can read that list. It's just gonna, this sheer stupidity of it's gonna piss me off. If it was just made for a joke, it'd be like, yeah, I'm all about reading that. But when you understand that people actually want to be taken seriously purporting this stuff, oh. Galahad Wolfie says I lost mod status. I tell you though, just Wolfie taking that persona on. I was really glad to see Galahad pop in here earlier. I hope everything's okay. He's been in the hospital for quite a little while then. It seems like it. I mean, just judging from his quick post. But I hope everything's going all right for him. Anbu says, nationwide news, Spaz, Cheer, and Train have signed a 20-episode 2-season deal. Lots of money guaranteed. That would not surprise me at all, Anbu. That would be the final straw for me. That would be it. Yep. yeah. Fucking Spaz Chair gets an 8-figure deal. And not only that, even paying him that kind of money, his show ends up at a profit. That would it'd be all over. D Kitchen said, I really want to see you watch Vegeta versus Goku Black's rematch. Yeah, I'm hoping. My next on my list with Super is Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. Do the review videos on those two, and then switch, what did you guys tell me, to episode 28. After that, I'll go to episode 28. I got to get caught up, because even if Super isn't, we know there's still some talk out there that Super isn't completely done. It's certainly at a pause, so I'd like to be able to actually get caught up to at least where they're pausing here. Excuse me. Pokemon Bridge by Elite 3. Navitro, we have it on the list of series to consider when we switch to another series. I actually have the abridged series that's pretty much near the top of the list. Pokemon Bridged. Of new series, I still gotta finish Seven Deadly Schmucks. But yes, I'm well aware of that one. I got it right on the list. But again, we won't be doing it until we finish another series and have a place for it. When I saw the plot to that Dragon Ball Resurrection movie, I was automatically like, no way. No goddamn way. The spaz chair is here. A fucking spaz chair. Let's see. So Jill says she was my best friend. She used to text me every day just to check up on me. That's cool. She said she still cares about me, but can't watch me ruin my life. Aww. She wants you to stop drinking, smoking, and doing drugs. And that's cool. That's cool that she's looking out for you, Sajil, but I'm sure I don't have to tell you this. You've got to want to stop doing them. I mean, I'm not telling you that's what you need to do, but I'm saying to give something up, it's got to come from the individual themselves, not from, I guess, external pressures from others can have an effect, but until the person actually wants to do it, it's not going to happen. Spaz sure is love, Spaz sure is life. Why is it possible to crack a neck without breaking it? I'm not sure what you mean by love. I mean, you mean that metacarpal fluid crack? Just love your reaction, Dashy. Oh, Dashy's funny. Oh, good to have you aboard, Lou. And Dashy's hilarious. Dashy's a freaking genius. I'll tell you, I think I haven't watched a lot of, or I haven't done a reaction video of Dashy in some time. But as funny as his sketch comedy is, he might even be funnier on his gaming channel. Holy shit. He's one of the funniest people I've ever watched play games. He makes me laugh my ass off. She even made you go to therapy? See, the only thing with that, Sajil, is I think forcing someone into therapy is not a good idea because, again, they got to want to go for it to really have an effect. It's just the same thing with hypnosis. Say for smoking cessation. People ask me about, can you help me stop smoking, blah, blah, blah. But you'll have the occasional person that says, my wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, my significant other wants me to go get hypnotized so I can stop goddamn smoking. It's like, it doesn't work like that. I can't make you stop smoking. You have to want to stop. Hypnotism doesn't work on anybody that isn't genuinely 100% behind whatever the goal is. And I believe that therapy is much the same way. Ma says, all right, I've recovered from cocoon gender. Oh, that was, what the hell am I getting here? Sign into, did you guys see, oh, you can see that in the corner. I just got to sign into Microsoft. What is the fucking Microsoft store? And why the hell did I get that pop up? What the hell is this shit about now? Who knows what I got going? Microsoft, yeah, because just if those of you are on my Twitter, we know how Microsoft's methods are moving more and more and more into your everyday life. Are you doing any more Fortnite streams? Yeah, I'm hoping to, Super Saiyan. I was just playing Fortnite before I started the stream. Not online. Just practicing, trying to try and get a little better before I do another stream. And the round I played was a solo. I was outside of the circle. I ran back in. Right as I'm running back in, I had a shotgun in hand, too, a good one. I see a guy down the way a little bit. It's like, he didn't even see me. Perfect. There was a rock right there. He had to cross a creek. I hear him crossing, waiting behind the rock. He comes around the other side. I still lost the gun battle. I had every fuck off, train. I had every possible advantage you could get on somebody, and I lost the battle and wasn't even that close. It's not good. Curtis, you should watch Sekiri. Good plot, awesome titties with once again a great plot. Somebody mentioned that one the other day, Megabird. I think I looked it up on the wiki. Somebody did mention that. I know I read up on it, and again, you said the magic words, good titties. I'm on board. I'd like to be on board some good titties. Ozzy Osbourne, yeah, I'm clean now, and every day of it is fucking hell. The man who has been researched for his imperviousness and lack of death after putting all those chemicals in his body, yeah, no doubt, truly, it's amazing that guy's still alive. It really is. Holy shit. Does chewing gum help with smoking? Lou, I think, like everything else, it depends on the individual. For, something like that, like chewing gum, I don't think there's an across-the-board thing. For some people, it probably helps a little bit. Just because, again, it's keeping your mouth occupied with something else as kind of trying to distract you from wanting to puff on the cigarettes. But it kind of all depends on the individuals. I like Rick and Morty, Ender. We actually... Now, again, this is just more YouTube curiosities. We did Rick and Morty reaction video ages ago, and as most of you know, there's lots of Rick and Morty reaction videos on YouTube. I posted it, and like a couple days later, they blocked it. So I never made another. Oh, I took it down because it was blocked worldwide. There's no sense in even having it up. So why sometimes people hate me, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I made one, and they took it down. Big Green says, yeah, I read a book about Ozzy, and even his doctor asked him how he's still alive. No doubt, Big Green. I mean, with the things that guy has done to himself over the years, how is it possible? Seriously. Curtis, what's your opinion on useless these days? Well, again, Joe, I in fairness, I can't call myself a Sakura hater. Because I can't bring myself to hate her just because, well, basically the uselessness. But the whole thing with trying to attack Sasuke twice and having to be saved twice again, that whole thing irritated me more than I've ever been irritated with her in the past. It's just like, stop being freaking stupid at least. Come on. Especially the second attempt. And just like, okay, whether or not the poison would have had an effect on Sasuke is up for debate, but as you saw in the second attempt, you're not going to stab him anyway. Do you know what level his abilities are? I mean, outside of any ocular jutsu or anything, you're not going to stab him. She's not skilled enough. And just, she just irritated me. Megabear says, have I ever smoked? No. It's never been something I've been interested in. Tobacco, pot, or anything. I just never been into it. One day even saying hello on YouTube is going to be blocked. Yeah, by love. It's just... Again, I don't know why, because there's lots of Rick and Morty reaction videos out there, but I don't know. Mine got plucked out of the pile for some reason. Gotta identify them all gender roles. Chuck Norris versus Ozzy, unstoppable force versus immovable object. Yeah, really, Dark Slaver. If there's anywhere that Chuck Norris could meet his match, it might be in Ozzy. Rowan says, Sakura, next time you do suicidal stuff, do it right and actually kill yourself. Jeez. Spaz Wolfie says, Sakura isn't Sarah. She doesn't deserve any hate. Come on, Wolfie, why you gotta take a swing at poor Saris? She's awesome. And look at those titties. Come on. Look at those titties. It's one thing that Sakura clearly is not bringing to the table. Sakura is never mentally prepared, though. Well, that's the thing, by love. It was just... And that really actually surprised me as far as, seriously, within the characters. Oh, please fuck off, Jane. Because the one thing we do know is Sakura is smart. So I was really surprised by her poor planning. That did really actually surprise me. Tom says, I do not particularly like the character of Naruto, but the look he gives to Sasuke after saving Sakura is badass. Yeah, right at the end of that episode, Tom, I know exactly the point you're talking about. Right as that episode's closing, when he looks back at him, that was pretty cool. It was. No, she's not Shika smart. I agree, by love. No, I don't think she's Shikamaru smart at all. But she's bright. That's why it just kills me with some of the decisions she makes. Curtis, I just found Bark's YouTube channel. It's called Mark's Barks. He is a Fury. No, that can't really... Is it really him, you think, Brandon? Hold on. I gotta look that up. Do you really think it's him? That would be hilarious. Let's see. Let me just do a search. No. It can't be the same guy. Come on, load up, will you?
So
I see the channel you're talking about. Nice chilling talk. Furry's playing golf with friends. almost 19,000 subscribers. Furry Valentine's Day scavenger hunt. My furry year. Nah, I don't think that's our same Mark, is it? That would be too freaking funny if it was. Yeah, but if you guys want to see it, just search Mark's. What was it? Mark Sparks, right? Yeah, Mark Sparks on Google or in a YouTube search. His channel comes right up. Everyone go sub to him. Wixbox says. Wolf, yeah, Shikamaru was cool, but we're just told he's smart, never shown. You think so, Exter? I thought he was pretty brilliant in that fight against Hedon. I thought the way he set all that up was pretty well done. Sarah's titties are pretty much like two big ice cream scoops on her chest. Yes, they are, Mega Bird. Two big, delicious ice cream scoops. Yeah, there is, Rowan. I just looked it up when Brandon said that. Yeah, and it is clearly all about the furry lifestyle. Oh, excuse me, guys. That's my eye. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Big Green. He's pretty tactical in his fights. I think he's pretty smart. In before Dark Sliver says in before there's a Curtis hate video on that channel. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna watch a lot of Suikage's videos. But I want to get further or done with Shippuden. But Suikage's been very good to us in allowing us to react to his videos, so I'm definitely going to watch them. If he is a furry, that explains his brain damage, Rowan says. Who's more useful in a fight, you and COD or Sakura against Sasuke? Believe it or not, Diamond Dog, I say clearly me. As bad as I am, I even have a little more tactical ability than Sakura. I put it this way, I have more of a chance of getting a couple kills than she ever had of taking out Sasuke. Don't stab your eye to get the Sharingan, Curtis. Pendragon, I hope it doesn't come to that, but I need me some Sharingan. Yeah, no name. I forgot about that. The other day, somebody was telling me about how to basic doing a face reveal, and I hadn't even known about that. I'll have to try and remember to look that up. I gotta check. I'm not sure, Big Green. I gotta check Twitter again and see. He hasn't. Last I saw, he hasn't been on during the day, so I haven't heard back from him. I'm just gonna talk to him, see if he's interested in sponsorship for one of his videos. I was just gonna sponsor one of his videos with rah-rah. I've got Pain Steam as my ringtone. That's cool, Xbox. Furries are fucking scary, though. The perverted shit that goes on at furry conventions is beyond belief. I've heard that, Maz. I've heard that before. When I first learned of furries as a thing, that's how it came up. Somebody was telling me that the stuff that goes on at the conventions is just off the freaking wall. I guess it's dull and gray outside. Yeah, it is here too, but I love very, very gray and dreary today. Very much so. Guys, unfortunately, it's going on 3. I gotta go out. I gotta do some run around before I get Spaz Kid. This has been a really good stream. I appreciate all the conversation. If any of this gave, not just from me, but from everybody, gave anybody any motivation, then I'm very happy. And hopefully at least everybody understands that as long as you're part of this community, you're always welcome in here, and we always got your back. But this was fun, as along with the baseline content of the stream, as always, the conversations that we veer off into were a blast as well. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is a lot of fun. I'm gonna see what comes up later, as again, with always, I never know for sure. If Spaz Kid gets on to play Fortnite later, I might jump on with him. If I do, I will definitely stream it, and it will definitely be pathetic. Just letting you know, there's no chance of any stellar gameplay from me. But who knows? Maybe I'll get a kill. I won't get a kill. But in any event, thank you guys very much. This was a really, really fun stream. I had a really good time in this one. And I will talk to you guys again as soon as I possibly can. And until then, pom foo, pom foo. WBO. Flashily. Oh yeah, so flashily. And here I go making that little rise and fall in Spaz Chair again. I'm going to stop doing it just because I think Spaz Chair likes it. So...